Support.
The maestro, please.
End of a very hot month, so we're gonna talk about a very hot song. Today we'll be looking at ROCKSTAR by DaBaby, featuring Roddy Ricch.
DaBaby.
Jonathan Kirk, better known as DaBaby, is an American rapper based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, who first had his breakout hit with
I go where I want, good, good. Play if you want, let's do it. I'm a young CEO, sure, yeah.
and continued to have success in the rap industry as well as the pop industry with songs like
I needed some shit with some bop in it. Let's go! I flew past the whip with that blunt in my mouth, watched it swerving, that whip had a cop in it. My bitch got
Roddy Ricch.
Has not been too long since we talked about Roddy Ricch, considering we started off the year looking at
Pulling out the coupe at the lot, told him fuck 12, fuck SWAT, busting all the bells out the box, I just hit a lick with the box.
Since then, he really hasn't been able to do much, especially since the pandemic started, but he did release one previously charting song as a single now, that being
Shawty made that ass clap, she don't need no applause. High fashion, like Goya, G-Wagon.
Background.
ROCKSTAR was originally released on April 17th of this year. It then charted at the beginning of the following month at number 9. It stayed on there for the duration of that month, and the following one it got to number 1. It then got displaced to number 2 at the end of June, but quickly got back to number 1 the following week, where it is now as of the beginning of August. ROCKSTAR is off of DaBaby's third studio album, Blame It On Baby, which was released the same day. ROCKSTAR is actually the second single off the album, the first one being
I'm just a nigga with a broken heart, tryna find my way back home. And I'm sitting here with the
Both singles did end up charting, and in fact, every song off of the album did as well, minus Amazing Grace. Going back to the song itself, on June 12th, DaBaby released a Black Lives Matter remix of the song in response to the George Floyd protests, which adds an additional verse at the very beginning of the song.
Even if I told you, still wanna understand what happened. Rather be myself if people look at me, don't matter. A rock star, nigga.
Both DaBaby and Roddy Ricch are credited as writers, and joining them and writing and the sole producer of the track is Seth in the Kitchen. Seth in the Kitchen, also known as Seth the Chef and real name Ross Portaro, is fairly new to the pop music scene. However, he has one additional credit on the Hot 100 that recently came up, that being
Damn, snitching. Niggas be out here snitching, damn, go snitching. Niggas be out here.
ROCKSTAR is jointly released by Interscope and the South Coast Music Group.
Form.
ROCKSTAR is a hip-hop song, is just over 3 minutes, in 4/4 time, B major, and 90 beats per minute. The song opens with the guitar and some DaBaby ad-libs. Following that, we have the first chorus,
Brand new Lamborghini, fuck a cop car with a pistol.
which is then followed by DaBaby's verse,
It's safe to say I earned it, ain't a nigga gave me nothing.
which then leads us to our second chorus,
Have you ever met a real nigga rock star? This ain't no guitar, bitch, this a clock.
and then Roddy Ricch's verse.
Slide on outside and flip the block back, yeah. My junior popped him and left him lopsided, yeah.
We then get one more chorus
God told me to promise you gon' squeeze me. You better let me go the day you need me.
before finally getting to the outro.
Guitar.
The guitar at the beginning of the song starts out with these very opened position chords and having them strummed, going G sharp minor, B major, F sharp major, E major. And I say guitar, but any guitarist will know that these are not actually guitar voicings for these chords. And that's because this is a synthesized guitar, and Seth in the Kitchen did not actually play a real one. Following that, we get what the guitar does for most of the song in the form of these broken chords, again going G sharp minor, B major, F sharp major, E major, but this time they're in a closed position as opposed to a very open one. The only additional guitar part we have happens at the beginning of each verse, doing this accented strumming pattern lower in the guitar's range. Again, these are doing an open position chord as opposed to a closed one.
Bass.
bass. The bass just plays the root of each chord, going G sharp B, F sharp E, in a very spaced out and syncopated manner, given at the end of each sub-phrase that final E does have a different rhythm.
Intro.
In the very beginning of the song, we have DaBaby doing these high melismas, as well as some ad-libs in which he really is just speaking, but I applied the rhythms to them that made the most sense.
I pull up like.
As it continues on, they start to layer over each other, still doing the melismas, but also having these ad-libs.
How you pull up, baby? How you pull up? How you pull up? I pull up. Step in the kitchen. Let's go.
Chorus.
The chorus opens with DaBaby mostly focusing on that F sharp and 16th note rhythms. In addition, there are some yas in the form of backup vocals layered on top of it.
Brand new Lamborghini, fuck a cop car. With a pistol on my hip like I'm a cop. Have you ever met a real nigga rock star? This ain't no guitar, bitch, this a Glock.
The chorus then goes on to include those woos we heard at the beginning of the song, and while DaBaby is still pretty much focused on 16th note rhythms and that F sharp, he does layer over himself at the end of certain phrases.
My Glock told me to promise you gon' squeeze me. You better let me go the day you need me. So bitch, put me on that nigga, get the bus. And if I ain't enough, go get the chop.
The only change in the chorus that happens in the song is the chorus that happens right before Roddy Ricch's verse, in which we can hear him doing some ad-libs right before his verse starts at the end of the second chorus.
Need me. So bitch, put me on that nigga, get the bus. And if I ain't enough, go get the chop.
DaBaby's verse.
DaBaby's verse pretty much just has him rapping as opposed to singing, minus the layered vocals in which he's doing melismas on yeah. Still very much sticking to 16th note rhythms, though there are some couple alterations every now and again to get all the words in, and yes, he still layers over himself at the end of certain phrases.
It's safe to say I earned it, ain't a nigga gave me nothing. I'm ready to hop out on a nigga, get the bus. Know you heard me say you play, you late, don't make me push the butt. Full of pain, dropped enough tears to fill up a fucking bucket.
DaBaby then picks it up significantly, abandoning 16th notes and going for 6 tuplets just relentlessly.
Going for buggers, I bought a chopper. I got a big drum and hold 100. Going for nothing, I'm ready to air it out on all these niggas. I can see I'm running. Just talk to my mom, she hit me on FaceTime just to check up on me and my brother. I'm really the baby, she know that the youngest son was always guaranteed to get the money. Okay, let's go.
He then continues the relentless 6 tuplets and adds the woos from earlier as an additional layered vocal.
She know that the baby boy was always guaranteed to get the loot. She know what I do, she know if I run from a nigga, I'ma pull it out and shoot. PTSD, I'm always waking up in cold sweats like I got the flu. My daughter a G, she saw me kill a nigga in front of her before the age of 2.
He calms down at the end of his verse in terms of his energy, but still doing those 6 tuplets, although this is now more spoken as to explicitly rapped.
Now I kill another nigga too. Before I let another nigga do something to you. As long as you know that, don't let nobody tell you different, daddy love you. Let's go.
Roddy Ricch's verse.
Roddy Ricch's verse, as opposed to DaBaby's, very much is pitched, and he focuses initially on all of these 16th note rhythms, having him go up and down in his register.
Keep a Glockin' when I ride in a Suburban. Was a codeine, had a young nigga swerving. I got the mop, watch me wash him like detergent. And I'm ballin', that's why it's diamonds on my jersey.
In addition, unlike DaBaby's verse, Roddy Ricch sticks to the 8th and 16th note rhythms, and pays special attention to that last measure as he repeats that idea into the following phrase.
Slide on outside and flip the block back, yeah, yeah. My junior popped him and left him lopsided, yeah, yeah. We spin his block, got the rebound in his ramen. For me one time, you can't cross me again.
He starts this phrase like he ended the last one, but then becomes extremely syncopated on the back half of it.
1200 horsepower, I get lost in the wind. If he talking on it, y'all depend, dolls and take his chin. Maybach SUV for my refugees. 5 blocks in the hood, put money in the streets.
He then goes back to the much more simplistic 8th and 16th note rhythms before ending his verse with a broken melisma.
I was solo when the ops called me at the gas station. Had it on me 30,000, thought it was my last day. But they ain't even want no smoke. If I had to choose it, murder would she roll?
Let's go.
Fairly simplistic as far as these pop analyses go. There was no pre-chorus, post-chorus, there wasn't even a bridge. That and the raps were fairly straightforward, but again, just because a song is simplistic does not mean it lacks any musical merit. That's the whole point of this channel and this show specifically, is that all music has merit to it as long as you're willing to dive into it and really pick it apart. And
don't let nobody tell you different, daddy love you. Let's go. Brand new Lamborghini, fuck a cop car. With a pistol on my hip like I'm a cop. Have you ever met a real nigga rock star? This ain't no guitar, bitch, this a Glock.
well, I guess it's a good thing that DaBaby's is in all capitals and Post Malone's is all lowercase. One of the few examples in which the stylization of the song title really does matter.
My God told me to promise you gon' squeeze me. Better let me go the day you need me. So bitch, up me on that nigga, get the bus. Yeah. And if I ain't enough, I'll get your chop.